Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna here. Basically, we are discussing about one of the topic that is future data. Basically, that is the city creation. Assume that basically in future data, basically Sunil or Nair is supposed to die or not die. That basically data is decided by whom? Basically, that is decided by the public basically, and that the healthcare department basically who creates the vitamin E basically and vitamin whatever vitamin basically they decides. So one of the person told that it was very strange basically. Yeah, basically each and every people basically dies basically. That is decided by the public basically. That was shocking basically. That was actually shocking. Prime Minister is going to die. That is also basically decided by the public basically. And that decides the public blood cells basically. With the help of the vitamin D. Vitamin D basically equal to human needs basically, which is created. So they basically decides whether prime minister or president basically supposed to die or not to die basically. So you can just imagine basically it's not possible. Actually, it's very difficult basically. Nobody can able to track basically that. See basically, and even the uh, nobody in this world basically can track that. Public is actually deciding prime minister should die or basically is not supposed to die basically. So you can just imagine basically the things basically. So you can just imagine basically he's supposed to die or he's not supposed to die. So one of the person told that basically uh, how many people basically can access your laptop basically. Then then one of the person told that basically the company basically can access. Then Sunil told that yes basically X company also basically can access your laptop basically. That is for example you work basically for you basically was working with Ria Infotech, you was working with Capgemini, you was working with BM Software, you was working with Mind Cells, you was working with Torque, you was working with flows. So they basically can take your access basically of the laptop basically, because rules basically say that basically ex employee also basically can take the access of the laptop basically, but they do negative tasks or positive tasks, that basically need to check basically whether they do the negative task or they do the positive task, that need to check basically. So one of the person told that basically prime minister will die or not die, president will die or president will not die. That is decided by the the vitamins data basically. Vitamins data. And basically vitamins data basically are created by what basically? That is the investment data basically. That is future investment data. That is the banks doing basically. This city has to create. So this city is going to create what basically? It's going to create apple, it's going to create vegetables, it's actually going to create what? So you can just imagine basically. I actually can't imagine also basically. But I know basically this, that basically this is the way basically it's happening basically. It's happening. So one of the person told that it's very dangerous here basically nowadays basically if you want to drink one water also basically, then also it's very dangerous basically. It's not dangerous basically, it's very dangerous. So you can just imagine basically. One of the person told that basically, is it possible basically? Are you sure basically? Prime Minister will die. That is decided by one vitamin D basically. Then one of the person told that yes basically. That basically the admin department knows basically of the Prime Minister group basically. Prime Minister admin department know, because they are taking the decisions very dangerous. Their decisions basically are very dangerous. It's going to affect to entire country. That's why basically. That's why basically, and they are going to. They basically have to save themselves also basically, because they are taking so dangerous decision basically that it's going to affect to entire country basically. Not entire country, but entire Indian nationality and connected nationality with Indian. So you can just imagine entire 900 crore of people basically are going to effect basically by the one prime minister decision basically. So you can just imagine basically that it's very dangerous. So one of the person told that yes, yeah, basically. One person told that yeah, basically we can't imagine basically the things basically. Yeah. Even basically we can't imagine basically the things. One person told that yes, basically yeah, we can't imagine basically that this type of thing basically happens. One prime minister is dying basically. That is decided by the vitamin D basically. Here I have just taken as vitamin D basically. It can be any vitamin, and that is actually created by the set of cities basically, and that is invested by the set of groups basically. So you can just imagine basically, it's not dangerous basically. It's very 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 dangerous basically. Few people says that this type of system basically is already created basically. This type of system is already created, and one of the person told that basically nowadays basically to have a normal life basically in this world basically, that's very dangerous basically. You can't have a normal life basically. One of the person told that as if that basically each and every people basically watches romantic scenes, romantic movies, right basically. But cyber group basically picks few people only basically. Why? Because they are basically poor people. They basically they don't have any backups. They basically can't do anything. That type of people only basically they select basically. By chance basically if they one of the very mafia group basically is watching the romantic scenes basically movies, they are not going to call basically them. Why? Because they know basically if they are calling basically they will immediately basically track that basically this is basically called by the cyber group basically, who basically are creating problem to that particular person basically. And then basically you know basically what are the things going to happen. If you are calling to the mafia groups basically, you are watching this basically, they will directly basically not tell basically, they will say that basically I am calling from ICICI, they will say that basically I am calling from SBI, they will tell that basically I am calling from LIC, like this basically they tells basically, like this basically they tells. So one of the person told that yes basically you are 100% correct basically. Like this basically it happens basically. So you can just imagine basically the things basically. So in next video basically we are going to see little bit more about this basically.